Hello and welcome. Joining me is G here for another round of the GT World Challenge round 5. So this week we're at Red Bull Ring and we're about to go straight to qualifying as we start, really. So good race last week from Cullinan, won the race in the end. Fabuka came second and Panos came third. Everyone just pulling out the pits. Not everyone, in fact. Corky still sat in the pits. More or less everyone pulling out the pits, out on their out lap now, about to get qualifying underway. So Red Bull Ring, pretty good track. I really enjoy Red Bull Ring. It's certainly been pretty kind to me in the past. I've won a fair few races around here. But yeah, it's a good day. Yeah, either love it or you hate it, I guess. I think it's quite simple. It makes for some good racing. Everyone coming around to get their laps underway. So he's first over the line. Fabuki's leading away from Panos. Cullinan behind as they come into the last corner now to start the flying lap for the first time. So these three already sticking together. Got the slipstream on Fabuki. Fabuki in the Porsche, Panos in the AMG and Cullinan in the Aston Martin. So 3 different cars as well. All looking pretty similar with the bluish liveries, but looking pretty good all the same. Everyone away on the first qualifying lap now. And we'll see kind of times are coming in towards the end. So only 8 in qualifying and not the most packed grid I've ever seen. Look at this, Panos and Cullinan behind. Looks like they're having a bit of a tussle between each other. I think Panos was ahead as well, so there's actually been an overtake in qualifying on the fast lap from Cullinan there on Panos. Not hanging around. Fabuki just managed to get away, so Fabuki will probably get the fastest lap at the moment, flashing his lights as well. Cullinan, don't know if that was on purpose, but letting him through by the look of it. He's picked up a penalty, so Panos gets through. Won't be a fully fast representative time from Panos, but he'll still get a time on the board. The only guy between these 3 really that's just putting a decent representative time, or potentially, is Fabuki. These 2 battling away, didn't help themselves. Crazy Marshall puts in second. 1.4 seconds off Fabuki though. Then Panos in 3rd. Noodlester in 4th at the moment. Cullinan in 5th. KGN in 6th. Then Mad Marshall still yet to set his time. Comes over the line for the first time. Stays in 7th. And then Corky, with those kind of lines, is no doubt going to stick in 8th. I'll be surprised if he don't pick up a penalty. I'm going to say going to get a penalty for that, so he has to slow it down before the line. And he ends up a long way off in the end. So Fabuki at the moment with a 1:28.679 in pole position for the time being, that is. And these guys up front look like they've turned this into a bit of a race. It's Panos, Cullinan and Fabuki. They look like they're actually trying to race each other more or less. Settle down now a little bit, but let's see what Fabuki does this time. Is it an improvement on the second time lap? Panos no doubt will improve this time. Cullinan goes second. Panos third. pushes Crazy Marshall down from second into fourth now, and then so on and so on. So Noodles to drop down. Check out what's going on with Mad Marshall. Oh, just pushing it to the limits of the curb. Might have picked up a penalty there. Was fully over the curb. Might have got away with it. Sounds good, does the Aston Martin. Flat out down the straight. Not improved that time. A long way off, in fact. Final lap. What's this? Final lap, really? Have we finished qualifying already? Was it that quick? Well, that's caught me out if it has. Looks like this might be the final lap for everyone then in that case. I don't get... okay, I'm going to ignore that final lap bit. They just say there's a minute left of the ball. Just said on whose screen was it? It's one of the driver's screens, so it was the final lap. Confused the hell out of me. So... what's going to happen towards the end here? Is anyone going to improve? He's flicking through, so Mad Marshall's finished. Cork is just cruising, so check back in on those guys for now. KJN, sorry, just about to cross over the line for the last time. 131.6 in the end. Doesn't improve, still in 6th place. Noodle's still in 5th. Does he improve? Nope. So the order is Cullinan takes it in the end. Whoa, that went quickly and disappeared quickly. So I'll quickly go through the order, hopefully, if we get enough time. We've got Cullinan in 1st, Fabuki in 2nd, Panos in 3rd, Crazy Marshall in 4th, Noodles in 5th, KJ in 6th, 7th is Mad Marshall, and then 8th is Corky. So only 8 drivers on the grid tonight, but let's hope it's a good one. Here we go. So away we go. And a decent start from Crazy Marshall, slips it down the inside to take the lead into the first corner. Great start from the AMG. Crazy Marshall there, and forces the others just to follow through. Cullinan in 2nd, Fabuki in 3rd, following through. Everyone gets through pretty cleanly up front. Oh, a bit of rubbing from Mad Marshall and Noodles side by side. Maybe not realising they were quite as close as they were. Everyone into the hairpin for the first time. Fabuki side by side with Cullinan, but respect shown, no massive amount of contact. Panos dropped down to 4th. So Crazy Marshall's done absolutely everyone there at the start. He's made up 3 positions off the start, so he's going to have his work cut out with some fast drivers behind him now. But what a start. I mean, oh, Cullinan's going for it. He's not hanging around. Dive to the inside already on lap 1 towards the end of the lap. Fabuki's looking a bit lively as well, looking like he might do a similar job soon. Oh, Panos and Fabuki. As Fabuki got a little bit over the curb, Panos with a better run. So side by side now, Panos with the inside as well. Oh, sorry, it's Crazy Marshall. No, it is. Panos has gone down the inside both. Oh, big slide from Crazy Marshall, gets tapped as well. Oh, he's into the barriers. Oh, no, we don't want to see that. But unfortunately, it has happened, so... oh, no, we're backing out. Oh, it's the wrong race length, so we're backing out anyway. Oh, it's a false start, ladies and gentlemen. Damn, it was just getting good as well. Oh, it's a shame. So we are, I didn't even notice, but we are on for a 40-minute race. Does help if it's set to 40 minutes, otherwise it's going to be over about half an hour too quickly. even though we've got a restart on the go, we've still got an apology going on. So we'll have to just bear with for a moment or two until we get a restart done. Who's out there practicing? Fubuki, Cullinan and KJN are out on track. One of the most important corners on this track, but the last two corners are really quite important. We won't even get to see it, but never mind. So, there you go. Typical. Right, so, away we go for the second time in a minute or two. Hopefully we won't be long. So we've got a 40-minute race around Red Bull Ring. Popular track at the moment. I just did a race around it on Sunday. F1 was there on Sunday. Seems like everyone's at the Red Bull Ring at the moment. Austria. So just waiting for the host to reset the grid in the correct order, and then we will be underway once again. Here we go. We are about to get underway for the second time. Hopefully, Crazy Marshall has as good a start. Everyone will be wary of it now. So we'll line up in the same order, assuming he's got it right. Yep. Crazy Marshall, what a start on the. On round one there, let's call it. Let's see if you can do it again. Got a good angle here. About to get going. Here we go. Revs are rising. Oh, it's Crazy Marshall just jumped the start. I think he might have done a little bit there. He has. So he can't get underway now. Oh, there's a few people not really got off the line, and there's not that many people in the race, so that's not brilliant. Anyway, Fubuki, it's been challenged, and he's just been passed by Panos and Cullinan. Fubuki finds himself dropping back a little bit. Cullinan comfortably in first place at the moment. No one side by side with him. Fubuki looking for a dive down the inside, gets it done side by side. Oh, goes a little bit wide on Panos, pushes him wide, and that allows Mad Marshall just to come through. Picks a nice line where there's clear track and just drives through on two drivers in front there. Nicely done. Noodles are right in the mix here as well behind Fubuki. KGN's left the race, so something's happened there. We're down to 7 players. That's not ideal. Let's call it. So hopefully these guys stick together and we actually have a reasonable race. Otherwise, this is getting a bit lonely on the track here. There's 7 people on. Mad Marshall having a little bit of a moment. Now he's got pressure on behind. He's picked up a penalty as well. Down the inside goes everyone, pretty much. So Panos, Fabuki and Noodles all dive down the inside. Demote Mad Marshall down into 5th. And Crazy Marshall's right behind him now in the AMG. Corky's nowhere to be seen. He's already 18 seconds off the lead on lap 1. So that's not great for Corky either. Not great news. Mad Marshall finds himself in 5th now. Crazy Marshall's got past him. Crazy Marshall with a little bit of a penalty though, but it won't, shouldn't be too much of a struggle to burn that off. Fabuki right on the back of Panos, challenging for 2nd place, and it was a 3rd then, but it's 2nd. And meanwhile, Cullinan up front pulled a 2.1 second gap now. So doing a great job of trying to pull away from the guys behind. He's built it up nicely. Fabuki's now past Panos. I missed it there. I missed the actual overtake, but he's got it done. Panos certainly seems like a perfectly competent driver last week. Maybe a little bit of bad luck on the first lap, but let's see what he can do tonight, because he's actually in the mix. He's right behind Fabuki. Fabuki's just got past him, so he will be looking to stick with him and challenge back, hopefully. We're now down to 6 drivers. This is going to be, yeah, entertaining. Mad Marshall with a penalty. Well, it's going to be easy to commentate on, I guess. You can see everyone. You can literally see everyone. Cullinan's been closed in now. Has Cullinan had a little moment? We haven't really watched him much yet. But maybe had a little moment along the way somewhere, because Fabuki and Panos are now right on his tail. Fabuki's doing a great job of catching him up. Panos is struggling to stick with him. Look at this from Fabuki. He's right on his bumper now, ready to make a challenge when he sees fit. So we're looking from Fabuki in 2nd place, looking at the leader of Cullinan. Pretty close. Nice and respectful on the brakes, so not getting too close, not risking too much or any contact. Looking behind, they pulled a nice little gap to Panos, nearly up to a 2nd. The slipstream from Cullinan will be helping Fabuki now. Oh, not the best line through T1. We're in a 40-minute race. You have to be doing maximum attack every single lap, but you could do with keeping it clean. So he's picked up a little penalty they need to get rid of. It's gone. That corner on this track, for some reason, it just gets rid of your penalty without you really having to do anything. And then Panos has been given a little gift there with that penalty, given chance to catch up a little bit on Fabuki again. And then further back we have Mad Marshall in 6th, massive gap, nearly 7 seconds to Crazy Marshall in front. Crazy Marshall has a big gap in front of him to catch Noodlester in 4th. And then, yeah, we've just got the guys in the lead really up in the podium positions at the moment. They're pretty close. Noodlester dropping off a little bit and not able to quite match the pace of the guys in front to stick with them at the moment, that is. You never know, you never know. There is damage on, I believe, in this race, in this championship, should I say. So if someone has a big moment, they will end up having to pit and lose out, or end up driving around with the damage and losing out time wise. I don't really know what else to say. There's only 6 people to watch, so I guess we'll just watch this race, the whole race. We've got Panos chasing Fabuki, Fabuki chasing Cullinan. Cullinan gained a little bit of a gap again over Fabuki as he had to burn a little penalty on a lap or 2 ago, which allowed Panos to catch back up, but Panos has been dropped again, and Fabuki through those last couple of corners seems to really do well in the Porsche, and seems to make up the time on the back of Cullinan, leading on to this long straight after T1. Fastest lap at the moment goes to Fabuki with a 1:28.457, which is, let's have a look in comparison. It's about 3/10, about 3/10 quicker than what Cullinan's done so far. So Fabuki with the pace at the moment, catching back up. Like Noodles still wasn't too far behind there as well, so hopefully he manages to get back into the mix and gets back onto the pack up front, make it a little bit more spicy. Meanwhile, Fabuki chasing Cullinan is going to be our action for now. It is a pretty high tyre degradation track, so do kind of 10 minutes in and we're already seeing a little bit of tyre wear on Fabuki, Cullinan. I don't know if they're going to be willing to drive with a lot of wear, so we'll see if there is pit stops involved. I wouldn't, unless you need to pit for the fuel, I personally wouldn't bother, but we'll see if anyone goes down that route. Could make it slightly interesting with the strategy. Don't know why you would though, in such a small race. If you go into the pits and no one else does, then you're right at the back, so it's not a lot of choice, I guess. You kind of got to do what everyone else does in a small grid like this. I guess the guys a little further back, Mad Marshall might not get through if you pitted, and Crazy Marshall might not. So we've got Aston Martin versus Porsche versus AMG. At the moment it's the Porsche doing all the work, catching Cullinan up a little bit off the pace that lap, but overall not that slow. Sat in the slipstream down the long straight now in the back of Cullinan, catching up slowly but surely, the gap down to 4/10. Got purple as well, so Fabuki setting fastest first sector at the moment. Cullinan is getting caught, he's getting the pressure put on him now. Let's see if Fabuki does anything down here. This is potentially a good place to try and make a move. No, he's not going to force the issue. But like Cullinan did go a little bit defensive there as well. Just cut off the apex nicely and nice and early, so Fabuki had nowhere to go and not really tempted to do it. Fabuki looking patient at the moment, but we saw last week these two battling away for the whole race, and we see it again. So who will be the victor this time? Cullinan won last week and Fabuki had a little incident towards the end dropped him slightly back in the gap. He didn't lose any positions, but ended up finishing second in the end. But had a really good race together, these two. So it's a repeat of last week, but a different track. It's good to see. At least we've got some action to watch as well. At the moment, Mad Marshall just driving around on his own, big gap in front. Massive gap in front of Crazy Marshall, massive gap behind. So nothing really going on between these guys. Noodles didn't look like he was too far off the moment. Well, a couple of laps ago, but now he's dropped back. He's got nearly a 5-second gap to Panos in front in third. And they've got Panos still chasing, but dropping back slowly but surely. The gap nearly up to 2 seconds on Fabuki. And Fabuki's still well and truly stuck with Cullen at the moment, so keep an eye on this. We can see Panos in the background as well. On board now with Fabuki. You see the difficulty following a car through corners where the apex is critical. You really can't see it, and you're kind of relying on the car in front to guide you to it, unless you do get some kind of angle to see it and get some vision of it. You're kind of relying on the car in front to get it right, or just following their line almost. Sometimes you are anyway, and that's a really bad habit you can get into, is just following the car in front. You need to try and find a little line, a little gap to be able to see the apex. Doing a good job though for Fabuki. Yeah, because basically if the guy in front gets it wrong, and this, you see it happen over and over again, and especially if you're not the most experienced on these games. Oh, Fabuki's sending it really deep on the brakes. Didn't quite get it stopped that time round. Managed to just keep it out of the gravel and keeps it going, but he's dropped Cullinan with that little mistake there, and Cullinan's free now to try and gain even more of a gap without the fear of Fabuki slipstreaming him every 2 seconds. So away he goes. It's nearly, well, it's a 1.7 second gap it's up to now on Cullinan. So Fabuki's undone all his hard work there and all his good work catching back up, and he's going to do it all again. So let's see if he can. Wasn't a massive mistake, but just outbroke himself basically. He's sent him to, oh, he's done it again. So Fabuki off at the first corner, just massively outbroke himself again, and Panos actually gets through. It's that bad. So Panos through to second. Fabuki losing major time there. Not sure what's going on, but seems to be really struggling on the brakes all of a sudden. Not even halfway through this race either, so he's got a bit of an issue if he thinks he's going to carry on without too much more drama. Unless it's just one of those, he lost a bit of concentration, just missed his braking points, left it too late, and simple as that. I'm not sure, but hard to tell just watching. Seemed like we were fine into there, and that's probably the hardest corner that we just watched, the downhill braking into the right hand hairpin pretty much. That's about as tricky as it gets on this track for the braking. Maybe the last corner as well, but that's more of an accuracy thing than the braking, I guess. Cutting the inside curb, not unsettling the car too much, and gets a nice little tour of Panos now. Panos a little early on the brakes there by the look of it. Gets a good run out, and leaves Fabuki following him down the straight. So we do see a pit stop. Noodles still coming in. Meanwhile, Panos not able to do anything with the slipstream, but he's got the gap closed up, so he can work on him now. See if he can close that gap even more, put him under some pressure and get the overtake done. Fabuki on Panos, so Panos in second place, having to handle the pressure of Fabuki. And Fabuki, we know he's quick from last week. Meanwhile, Noodles still out of the pits, so he's on his outland now, and he's still in 4th position, so he's not actually dropped a position, even though he's the only one to pit. Says a lot for Crazy Marshall and Bad Marshall, which just can't seem to jump to for some reason. Anyway, we've got Fabuki right on the back of Panos. Oh, Fabuki coming in the pits as well. These guys not liking the tyre wear that they've got. Feeling a pit stop needed to refresh those tyres, get some more pace out of the car. Problem is, the pit stop takes you a long time, so you've got to make all that time back up, even if you are on fresh tyres. That's a lot to ask. Anyone that's brave enough to do the no stop here has won the race, basically. So the pit stop is basically sacrificing the win if anyone is prepared to try and do the no stop, which I personally would do. I would try and do it anyway. It's a long race, 40 minutes. Tyre wear is not massive though. Basically we're about halfway through now, so if you double the tyre wear, think of it as simply as that from what it is now, then yeah, I won't be too concerned. Don't get me wrong, you won't be going ultra quick, but I think you'd still be able to get round with reasonable pace. So I'd be tempted to go for the no stop here and don't even bother thinking about getting tyres. Fuel's fine by the look of it, no worries about fuel. So, oh, another pit stop, so is that Cullinan in? Yeah, it is. Panos in second. Now, takes first place. Go on, Panos. No stop race, pal, no stop race. Just go for it, get the win. Everyone's stopping. Don't bother. Just ignore the tyre wear, just don't look at it. It's not there on the left, bottom left. Crazy Marshall and Mad Marshall, I can finally skip back to them. They are actually having a bit of a race together as well, so Mad Marshall following Crazy Marshall for 5th position. Ooh. Different lines going on, and I'm not sure either of them were right. I agree more with Crazy Marshall's because look how fast he was compared to Mad Marshall, but yeah, bit of a race going on back there. Meanwhile, it's all split up a little bit at the front now with these pit stops, so we've got Fabuki with a 5-second gap to try and make up on Cullinan in second place, and then Panos, the leader. Get in, Panos. Do not go near that pit. If you go near that pit, I might actually quit and just give up. Big pits now. I'm not going to be happy, put it that way. No. Yes, keep that wide line. Yes. That is the line. Keep that going. No need to go to the inside. Any lap, no need to go to the inside. I hope you're listening, Panos. I'm telling you, you'll win. You might go slow, but they've got a lot of time to make up. 18 seconds. Cullinan's going to make up on you. I'll keep an eye on it for you, don't worry. There's only 18 minutes as well, Panos. 18 seconds or more or less. You've dropped a little bit already, but let's just call it 18. So you've got to maintain. You can't let anyone gain more than a second a minute on you. There you go. There's the aim. the moment there is absolutely nothing going on. We'll skip back to 2, or even this is not a battle anymore. Oh my gosh, I don't know why or how I'm meant to commentate on this, if I'm completely honest. There's nothing to commentate on. Personal best there from Cullinan were 1:28.569, not far off the fastest lap of Fabuke, nearly 2 tenths, 10th and a half. So yeah, we'll just keep an eye on Panos, I guess. See if he intends on going round and doing the nurse stop. Because the deeper he gets into it, the more you're committed to the nurse stop, because you're not really going to make that much of an advantage with the fresh tyres if you don't have much time, basically. And you've still got to make the time up then of a pit stop. And you haven't got much time, well, you got less time to do it. So I hope Panos has heard me. I hope he's on for the nurse stop. Should make it a bit more interesting. Yes, go on. Yeah, nice wide line. Avoid that pit lane. Whoop, whoop. Panos is the man tonight. He's the guy who's going to do it for me. Mad Marshall in 6th. Pitting. Going for a new set of fresh soft tyres by the look of it. And now he goes for his second stint. No doubt that'll be him till the end. Got a bit of traction control going on from Crazy Marshall. We've got a lot of ideas from Noodlester. So, is Fabuke catching Cullinan here? Keep an eye on this gap. 4.4 seconds. Cullinan is slowly catching Panos. He's got the gap down to 15 seconds now. But still 15 seconds at the end of the day. Panos he's got to, let's see what Cullinan looks like. He's going to a back marker here. I think back markers in this are ghosted, so I think it won't be an issue, but we'll see. Way too early turning for that corner. Need to be waiting a lot longer on the brakes and go a little bit further into the corner before turning in. The back marker just letting him through. No issues there whatsoever. That's Mad Marshall letting him through. Not too bad through the last 2 corners, which are pretty much the main challenge on this track. Don't get me wrong, every corner on this track has a little bit of a... It's not quite as simple as it looks, but I'd say the last 2 corners are probably the trickiest to get right every single lap consistently. Oh, a little bit of weaving there from the back marker as Cullinan sends it down the inside, hoping that he don't get any kind of contact and ruin his race. For Fabuke in the background watching all this going on with the back markers in front. So now we have Mad Marshall and Crazy Marshall side by side. Crazy Marshall living up to his name. Oh, he's gone deep. I was going to say something I shouldn't have done then. It's a good job I didn't. So Noodlester in the pits again. Noodlester loving the pits. Absolutely loves his teammates. Must have his Imperial Mint must have sucked away. It needs another one, so he's popped back in. Can't race without them. Look at this. We've got Crazy Marshall just messing about now at the back by the look of it. Mad Marshall going through into 5th. Noodlester miles away. Fabuki, God knows what. Cullinan, who knows. Oh, he's got the gap down to... oh, Panos might be in... Oh, no. Panos is on pace here, look. 12 minutes left, 12 seconds left, so he's still on pace. He can do this. So Cullinan is the man to watch. Oh, he's setting purple sectors. That's not good for Panos. Panos, don't look at that. Ignore that bit. At the moment, yeah, Panos is still on pace. He needs to keep it nice and consistent. Basically can't afford to lose any time to a mistake anywhere at any point. He needs to keep it nice and steady, bearing in mind that his tyres are getting more worn. Liking his style, ignoring the pit lane once again. He's committed to this no stop now, I'm sure of it. A wise man once said, don't pit. It was quite profound. I mean, brought a tear to everyone's eye that was there. It's the way he presented it. Whew. Well, I'm trying to catch my breath with all this action going on. Fabuki closing in on Cullinan, and he's slowly getting this gap down. It was 4.4 seconds last time we had a look. It's basically gained about a second on him, so still a bit of work to do. 10 minutes left, or just over 10 minutes. A bit of time to do it, but he does need to start working on trying to claw that timing on Cullinan in front. If you look at the tyre wear as well, Cullinan's tyres are actually slightly, as near as makes no difference. Slightly better, but it is slightly better, and it's Fabuki who's trying to chase him down really, so Cullinan with the slight advantage over those two. Panos, as we know, with the worn tyres, but look at this, 10 second gap and 10 minutes to go, so he's bang on pace for still winning this. He's got a second a lap to deal with to Cullinan behind him basically at the moment. Not a lap, second a minute, whatever that works out to be. It's like a minute and a half a lap, so oh god knows, I'm not even going to start doing the maths. So Noodle's still loving his fresh tyres. Might just be going for the fastest lap because keeps putting new soft tyres on every 2 seconds. But he's still in 4th position, saying that, so he hasn't really lost anything. He was in 4th at the beginning, still in 4th, and he's had more pit stops than anyone else, so it hasn't really hindered him. Oh, I thought he was a little early on the throttle there. I thought Mad Marshall was having a big mistake, but nope. Crazy Marshall on the other hand, picking up a little penalty, has to lose it down the straight. And then we drop back to Panos again. Panos. His seconds to minute ratio has dropped a little bit. It's on the low side. Cullinan, on the other hand, if he does catch up, he still needs to do the overtake. It shouldn't be too difficult, let's say, because of the tyre wear, but he has still got to get past another car if it does come to that. Whereas Panos has to pass nobody. You can actually see him there in the distance on the straight, which will spur him on a little bit, no doubt. Cullinan, I bet he brakes a little bit later into that corner than he normally would then. He broke really early then, in fact. Oh! Sorry. Excuse me. Purple first sector, fastest of all. On for the fastest lap at the moment. Panos just handling this tyre wear quite well, not really seeing massive signs of it. You'd expect to be seeing a bit more oversteer when you look at his back left tyre, but he's obviously capable of just driving with the tyre wear, compensating for it a little bit, altering his style maybe a little bit, being a bit smoother, etc, etc, to be able to actually just drive with it and not be too affected by it. I'm loving the fact that he's going for the no stop though. 40-minute race, bear in mind, 40 minutes. He's still on the same set of tyres he started the race on, so, and no one else is, I don't believe. I think everyone else has paid. Everyone else definitely has paid. Purple sectors again from Cullinan, so he's pushing. He's trying to close this time, and he knows that it's still possible to try and catch Panos, and I think he's starting to smell a little bit of blood. He knows that it's actually starting to become possible. He's closing in that time to the point where he's starting to probably get a little bit worrying for Panos as well. He'll probably be watching that gap to the guy behind, in this case Cullinan, and be worrying slightly that that gap keeps dropping and dropping and dropping. Good driving for Panos, Cullinan for Buki this week, Noodlester as well. Mad Marshall and Crazy Marshall look like they've had a few little unnecessary incidents, unforced errors, as they say in tennis, but it's the way it goes. And with such a small grid, it's been a bit more highlighted than it normally would be. But the pace is massively different between some of these guys. Can't get my words out. There's, quite frankly, the top three are in a different league almost. Look at the gap as well to Noodles, so it's over a minute now. Let's see how Panos is going. Cullinan, the gap between Fabuki and Cullinan just hovering around 4 seconds, not really changing drastically, so Fabuki unable at the moment, 4 minutes to go, but at the moment unable to make much of a dint or a challenge on getting second place back. So Cullinan is the only one to really watch to see if he can claw this time in on Panos. Panos back on pace now, 4 minutes remaining, 4 second gap. So he's still comfortable enough for the time being. It will have to do another 3 laps as they cross the line with 4 minutes left. So 3 laps left for these guys, including this one that they're on. Three laps might actually make the difference here to be able to make this work for Cullinan. Panos, there's 2 laps left, they'd probably be quite comfortable with that 4 second gap. With an extra lap, Cullinan really might have the chance to do this. Might actually end up being quite an exciting end this after quite spread out race. be pushing a little harder through there, but don't want to obviously make a mistake. Takes it nice and comfortably. Looks like it's a bit of a back marker getting blue flagged ahead. Hopefully gets out of the way so Cullinan don't have much of an issue on the exit here, because he's going to catch him right after the corner. Yeah, it's already through enough. Absolutely fine. It's the AMG of Crazy Marshall in 6th place. Getting past there. Sticking right behind him as well. Hopefully don't go and do anything silly. Thought he was going to go into his door then. Just with how close he was still after he got overtaken, thought he might do something, but he knows better. Obviously he did take avoiding action by kind of diving right over the curve, the apex curve, to make sure that he avoided him. But yeah, a bit of a dodgy one. Cullinan might have been worried for a second there. So look at this gap now. We still have 2 laps to go. Oh, but at the same time, I've only just noticed, look at Cullinan's fuel. Okay, everyone's fuel in fact. Oh, Matt Marshall, you might as well pull over and stop now. So it is. I think these guys up front will do it on fuel. It's going to be tight though. Cullinan might not be able to push here on fuel. And Panos, I think, will have enough to be able to just carry on as he was. Okay, so gap closing in. Through T1 for the last time now. Lap 27, the last lap. Heavy on the brakes, purple by 3/10 through the first sector, so Cullinan still left a little bit in the tank to be able to push. Literally looking for any opportunity now. He knows the chances of running out. Oh, a little door rub on the exit, unsettled Panos' rear end a little bit, tiny bit of oversteer to correct, and that was enough to lose a tiny bit of momentum, tiny bit of time, which allows Cullinan to get through. So it wasn't a malicious contact, I wouldn't say, but it did actually make the difference. A tiny touch unsettled Panos enough to just make it easier there for Cullinan. Good work from Panos, and unfortunately it didn't work. Tried the no stop. Obviously it's come second, so it's not the end of the world. Better than last, but didn't quite get the win from it. Cullinan did manage it in the end. I think it was just an extra lap, like I said. If it was 2 laps, I think he'd have done it comfortably in a way. Anyway, we'll watch for Buki as he comes towards the end. Literally got no fuel left. Got absolutely beaming fresh tyres though. Was doing another 20 laps on them. Strategy maybe not working out perfectly there with the tyres and fuel. Nuluster in 4th, and then we've got Mad Marshall in 5th, which is just cruising around at the moment, run out of fuel, and yeah, Crazy Marshall in 6th. So that's pretty much it. Without much further ado, I am going to pretty much leave it there and bid you adieu. Bye for now.